Royal Khmer, Punch Out Boxing. Delighted to be here with Ade Oladipo. Excuse me, getting my
It's not easy.
consonants wrong.
Hear a name, it ain't that easy. I mean, you're lucky you don't get the full Ade Oladipo. You get Ade. I kind of broke it down a little bit for you. It's easy work.
Thank you so much. Talking of easy work, none of that out there tonight. If you could just give us a bit of a review of the card, starting at the top. Tyler Denny. It's one of those fairy tale stories. You know, guy coming up from the small hall scene. Now he's sort of on the periphery of maybe world level fights.
Maybe, right? And nothing's better in boxing than an underdog story. We love it, right? All the films that we watch as kids have been sort of getting us ingrained into enjoying these stories. And Tyler Denny's story is an amazing one, just because. I mean, this is a guy that came into this fight in his own backyard as an underdog. People, might, and Monday morning quarterback it and say he wasn't an underdog. He was an underdog, but just because we know how good Felix Cash can be, we saw that against Denzel Bentley many moons ago. But Tyler Denny is someone that clearly grinds, clearly lives the life, and these last 5 years have been fantastic. He's on an incredible run, and this is the bigger win than winning the European title. This is the bigger win than anything he's done before, because of who Felix Cash is. But that was almost a shadow of the Felix Cash that I remember. I don't know what's happened. I don't know him personally. You hear stories of not living the life. You hear stories of maybe falling out with different trainers. And then you kind of start to believe it when you see that kind of performance. I hope him and Adam Booth can do magic together, but tonight just wasn't his night. And I almost feel like the cut saved him, because I thought Tyler Denny was starting to run away with it. And maybe could have even got a stoppage, which would have been incredible because he's not a puncher. But I thought Tyler Denny looked fantastic. I really do.
Yes, indeed. Let's hope Ben can get in some of those big fights that he's well and truly earned. Just on Cash, I mean, Eddie went in on him a bit. He was disappointed in his man. He said that it looked like he didn't want to be there. To us at ringside, it almost looked like, as he said, he was relieved about the referee or the doctor looking at the cup.
Yeah, you can understand why Eddie's upset. I mean, Eddie won the purse bids for this fight. And at the end of the day, an away fighter has come away with the victory. You're not going to be happy. Ben Shalom in the ring gloating. You're not going to be happy with your Eddie, right? I mean, it's not been a good couple of weeks for Eddie when you think of some of the other fighters that he's had that have suffered defeat. So he's going to be upset. And he would have spoken to Felix prior to making the purse bid. Like, are you up for this? Are you ready? Yes, I am. I've got a new team. I'm good to go. And ultimately, after the first couple of rounds, you can see he wasn't. He got caught with a big shot in the third round. And I think that surprised him because, again, you look at the record and Tyler's not a puncher. And I just wonder, look, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and say, look, he's been out of the ring 18 months. You've had a new trainer. You're trying to learn and show things that you've learned in training. And it takes a while. No one lands with a new coach and it's magic straight away. It takes a while. It takes, I think, 3 or 4 fight camps. So if he's serious about this, stick with Adam Booth, go and level down, get some wins, get a couple of stoppages, and then come back to this level. And let's see what you can do in 2025. Let's hope the cut isn't as bad as it looked. Get another couple of fights this year, easy ones, 8 rounders, then bang, 2025, let's go again.
Sounds great. It seems a big problem is fighters don't want to do that step down a level, especially when they're 30 plus.
Yeah, not only because of that, the money's different. The money's different, but the training camp's the same. So they don't want to fight. When you're used to fighting for big money, you don't want to stop round to 8 rounders and then you see the check that's on offer and you turn it down. But you've got to think long term. He's not the biggest draw, Felix Cash, and he's not had a good performance since Denzel Bentley. Madiev, do you remember that fight where he got put down twice? Wasn't good. Kelso, where he struggled in an 8-rounder, wasn't very good. So he's got to be realistic and say, we might need to take a step back here and figure things out. Or you wake up one day and you're 40 and your career's over and you're trying to chase some sort of comeback fight when it's done. He's 30, I believe, Felix Cash. This is the time to press that reset button and come again.
Absolutely. Well, we'll see what they do. Just on the co-main, the welterweight clash, fantastic. But a lot of us at ringside thought the house favourite got a few favours, like with the point deduction and on the scorecards. Did you read it that way?
Yeah, look, first off, it was very unlucky with the point deduction. I mean, Steve Gray was tough, I think. I think both of them were doing a bit of dirty work. Elbows came in, low blows. I mean, yeah, you got a warning, but to take a point away when you know a fight's that close. And Steve knows, obviously he's not scoring a fight, but he knows how close this fight is. And you take a point away, I mean, that's hard. I thought Conor Walker done just enough. I don't think it's a robbery. I'm not screaming that. We've seen worse results, right? But I thought Conor done maybe just enough. I thought Lewis Crocker's gas started to empty very quick, maybe after 6 or 7. He's clearly too big for 147. He came in the ring today, I'm going to guess and say about 170. He looked enormous in there. And all these fighters talk about, I put on extra weight. It slows you down. It slowed you down and it affects you, and it clearly affected Lewis Crocker. He's a 154 guy, jumped to 154. I understand he wants that big money fight against Paddy Donovan, and he'll probably get it. But I think he's fortunate to get out of there with a W. That being said, loved it, fight of the year, run it back. If he doesn't get the Donovan fight, because it was fantastic.
He spoke to Donovan. He said him and Andy Lee were licking their lips, but as he said, could be the biggest fight Ireland's seen, well, for a generation.
Yeah, it'll be a big one. Belfast, packed. They'll pack it out. Two unbeaten fighters. Both of them talk the talk as well. Both arrogant. Both walk the walk. I would love to see it. And look, Andy Lee and Paddy Donovan were here on a bit of a mission to watch and see. And they would have looked at that and thought, clearly beatable. Clearly beatable. If you can get past the first 4 or 5 rounds with Lewis Crocker, you've got a chance. The problem is not many get past the first 4 or 5 rounds because he's so dangerous. Such heavy-handed. So sharp. But if you are Conor Walker type engine, and I don't know if Paddy's that, by the way, then you've got a chance. So many good fights in the welterweight division. It's been a division over here. Like I felt since Kell Brook and Amir Khan left it, it's been a bit dead. All of a sudden, there's some good fighters now, and Conor Walker's right up the top. He shouldn't be disheartened with this defeat. He's right there.
Indeed. Well, if that is made, it'll be a hell of a night in Ireland. The other title fight, Shannon and Emma, great contrast between one fighter, tremendous athlete, explosive, and someone with very good fundamentals. Right score, Emma just edged it.
You know, I want to say something funny. Hopefully it doesn't come across as racist. It surely isn't. I was speaking to Tony Bennett. I said, Tony, who wins? He said Sky. He said, he said Shannon. I said, you know that Emma Dolan's a traveller. He said, oh, she wins. And he just feels like there's something about travelling fighters or travellers that they have just this will to win that it's difficult to kind of put into consideration when it comes to boxing. And I looked at Emma in our last fight against Nicola Hopewell, and I was like, she knows how to go 10. She's done the 10 twice. Shannon last time did 10, but it was a hard 10 for her. I thought Emma did enough. I thought Shannon regrouped really well after the knockdown, like really well. But in the end, I thought it was the right decision. Shannon's going to kick herself. I wonder if Shannon can get down to flyweight. I think Superfly, the girls are really big when they balloon up after the weigh-ins. I know she's got a lot of muscle, so it's difficult to lose muscle, but I wonder if they're maybe looking at a cut to fly, where she can use her own size advantage. But it's a good fight. One of the best female fights I've seen in a while, actually. So competitive. You know, Shannon tried to get in and under, whereas Emma's on the jab and using that length and that range. Fantastic fight. Emma will go now. European and British, you might as well go. For Shannon, I don't think it's a big deal. You take the licks, you come back again, and she'll be out again in a few months.
Well worthy of the inaugural British title at that weight class. On the prospects, deferring fortunes, Hamza Uddin, he's my boy, by the way, and Suleiman, exciting, put on great showmanship and all of that. But Muhammad Ali and Cameron Vine struggled.
Both of them struggled against men. They got outmanned a little bit. They're both very good, but maybe they haven't got their man strength yet. Jeff Ofori's a man. Jeff Ofori will fight anyone, anytime, anywhere, right? Lives in and around the weight class, and he just showed that he's got that experience. And maybe this was the bit. What is the rush with Cameron Vaughn? There seems to be this want to get him in a 10 round. He's only had 5 fights. Like, surely part of the skill of this game is knowing when to move fighters in 6 and 8 rounders and 10 rounders. And now he's at a 10. He can't go back to 8 and 6s. You've been at 10. You're now at 10. And I just feel like there's no need to rush him. I don't understand it. Don't kill off talent. I know Sam will say the rounds are good for him. I don't know if the rounds are good when you take that kind of work. I thought it was a tough fight. So I don't know, man. As for Uddin, I said it on the broadcast. He reminded me of a young Prince Nassim Hamid the way he fights. And obviously that's his hero. And you can see it. He got caught a couple of times as well, but he knew how to kind of hold when he needed to. And that punch right at the end to end it was stunning. He's exciting. He gets you off your feet, doesn't he? So he gets you off your seat. So he's exciting. So I like him. And Spider, dude, I mean, this guy, you know what it is? He's so good on the mic as well. You shove a mic in his face, he knows how to talk, he knows how to deliver. That's an important part of the sport. So yeah, I mean, and credit, by the way, to their fans. They clearly sold this place. Both of those two together sold 1,000 tickets, and their fans stayed, which is what you want to see. Most times, when you get those fighters that sell tickets on the undercard, the fans go. So it's nice to see them stay as well. So happy for both. Can't wait to see Udin's. I almost want to fast forward with Udin to see what he's like in 12 months because he excites me. He's a good fighter.
There's an idea as to why guys like Uddin and Suleiman might move fast. Like Nassim Hamid, those fast reflex fighters, their prime is in their youth. We saw with Hamid, his prime was probably his early 20s. By his late 20s, the reflexes had gone, got found out by Barrera. Should they move quick? And
No.
are they the sort of guys that can be sold for Riyadh season, which is dominating all the talk? Because you've been to Riyadh and there's not much local engagement.
Too early. Udin's had 2 fights. We're jumping too early. I mean, we need to see way more. We need to see 10, 15. We need to see way more. I think we're seeing it now in a lot of these kids. Like, you take that next step. That next step's a problem. Again, you said it with Mohammed. That's a step, and we saw an issue. Vong took a step, and we saw a problem. So you've got to take it easy with these young kids. I would rather they do what they do here. Sell these tickets. Yes, if they can get on a Saudi card in the future, then yes, of course, and it helps as well, being a Muslim going out to one of these cards. But I think we take it easy with both of them. I don't see the rush. I like both, but I always do this. I get so excited, like you're doing right now, dude. I get so excited about some of these young kids. I want to rush them, but I'd rather see steady and slow progress as opposed to taking a risk that we might have something special.